Hey guys, welcome back to the vlogs. So a few weeks ago we did the Wise Fab install and that's all on and buttoned up and looking good. Since then I've added these flares to the front arches just to cover the wheel clearance a little bit more, and they work pretty well. They don't look fabulous, but again, it's not a show car. We've also got over fenders. Now at the moment I've just rattle canned on black. They look fine. They're meant to be like a matte finish, and I've spaced out the rear wheels a bit, so we've got a bit more track width on the back, and it just looks a bit better. So I'm happy with how that's come out. But the next big job is wiring. So me and my dad at the weekend made a start, and as you will see from down here, this is all the excess wiring looms that I've collected with RX7 ownership over the years. So what I've done is, in here we have all the plugs I'm going to need for the sensors on the car that we're going to be using. I've got multiple ones of these, so it's just a case of picking the best ones that I've got, and they've all got tails on, so I can wire them using parts of the original wiring, as long as they're all okay. Obviously we'll go through and check them, and if any need to be purchased again, then for fresh new ones, that's what we'll do. In here we've got some of the adaptronic wiring, and the water injection things. All these need to be wired up. But for now, to make a start, what we've done is we've picked some of the auxiliary stuff. So none of the original wiring is in the car, none at all. But we are using a few standard features. So we're using the stock fans because they're very good. We're using the stock wipers, the electric windows, I'm keeping those, the standard ignition barrel, and some of the standard fuse boxes. But we've cut all the wires off, so we can just pick which ones we want and rewire as we need to. So what we've done is we've gone through the electric windows, wipers, fans and the ignition barrel, and figured out what all the wires do using just a battery and a multimeter. And then what we've also done is picked our location for the ECU. So if we go down here, I'll just grab my torch. There we go. So you'll see in the passenger footwell, there we've got the glove box, and the ECU is attached there. Is this ever going to focus? There you go. And we've also got one of the main fuse boxes out of the engine bay. Now that has got the 120 amp main fuse and the 40 amp B2 fuse, which, looking at the wiring diagrams, a lot of systems use. And that's also where we connect the battery, the main battery to, so we can reuse all those bits. And we've also got another fuse box down here, I think. Where is it? Here it is. This is another fuse box which is normally in the engine bay, which has got a load of things we can use. So it's got the 60 amp cooling fan, circuit relay we don't need, EGI main relay we can reuse. There's a load of fuse holders in here, and so what we've done is we've cut the wires off. We can see into the back how everything's wired, and we can just reuse stuff and relabel this for what we want. So it keeps things nice and simple. It means I don't have to buy so much stuff, which is great. So onto the plan. So if we start with the fans, we've got all these labelled up for colour. We decided we're going to use 2 fan speeds. So we've worked out what combinations of wires we need to use to get those 2 fan speeds. We're going to use the standard wipers, but we're only going to have one speed, which is all or nothing. We're not going to have intermittent or slow speed or anything like that. Hang on, my phone's ringing. Oh, it's Dale from DM. Let's see if we can talk to him. If my phone decides to answer. Oh, look at that classic iPhone. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Dale. It's not me. It's my phone. I'll call him back. So, we've done the fans, we've done the wipers. Electric windows are easy. We can reuse the standard switch. And then from that point on, once we've wired all that auxiliary stuff in, then we can start doing the Adaptronic wiring. Now, that little fuse box that was in the footwell also connects to the alternator. So we've put the wires through the bulkhead here, and they go up to the alternator there, and they also go down to the starter motor, which is this one down here. So that's a lot of problems solved, basic wiring bits solved. So next, let's go and have a look how we're going to figure out how to wire the Adaptronic. Okay, so now we're in the car, and obviously, as we said before, we've got the ECU down there, and here we have my tablet. Now, it's a Windows tablet. It's going to be powered by a hardwired USB in the back of the dash, and it'll link to the ECU with another USB, and this will have the Eugene software on, which is what runs the Adaptronic, and it will also be, now the touchscreen on this thing is not fabulous, but it's literally just going to be for gauges. So when I'm driving, it's just going to run the main gauge page, and if I full screen this, there we are, we got all our gauges. So revs, boost with a digital readout as well, and a warning for overboost, AFR, and the same warning again, voltage, oil pressure, fuel pressure, speed, fuel level. Now this is something we're going to have to try and figure out, because at the moment I've got it on servo input, and I've got to put a resistor on the feed, on the level sensor on the tank. Coolant temp, air inlet temp, oil temp, and fuel temp, which I don't know if I'm going to run yet. But this will basically show me all my output, and we have nothing here. Now this is for a mount for a GoPro, which is just screwed in. I've literally just covered the entire section where the gauges were. This does not, you know, there's probably a much better solution that I could have come up with for this, but it covers it. Like, I don't really care. We've also got the where are we? Air fuel gauge down here somewhere. It's trapped, but this will sit on top of the steering wheel, which goes here. So I'll have a readout right in front of me, just in case I don't get to look at this. And it's good because we can log everything as we go. It'll show, we can input all the warnings and everything, so if anything goes over what I want it to, then it'll flash at me, and I'm less likely to blow stuff up, because I'm fed up of blowing up engines. Yeah, so once we wire in the Adaptronic and all the other subsystems, we've also got all the wiring down here for the ignition. The ignition system is going to work as it did. No fancy push button start or anything, literally just a key. All the fuses, those two fuse boxes, will be hidden down here, or maybe in the glove box with the ECU. And that's it. Electric windows and everything will work. Mirrors, we don't have them anymore. Power locks and everything won't work. But it's either going to be at a drift day, or on the back of the trailer, or in the garage. And that is it. So what is the plan? The plan is we're going to get the battery mounted down here. We're going to wire in the ignition switch, and we'll go into like the first stage of wiring. So off the accessory point on the ignition switch, windows and lights and everything, and fans will work, of which I'll have a manual override. So we're literally going to wire all those up to the accessory point using all the correct fuses where they need to go, test it, make sure that works, and then stage 2 of the ignition, everything that needs to work off that we'll wire in, and then test that to make sure it works. And as we go along, we'll wire in bits of the engine, all the sensors and everything, and do a sensor check on the tablet just to make sure it's getting the proper readings. And we'll do some tests on the sensors with temperature and pressure. We'll prime the pump, make sure we're getting a fuel pressure reading and things. And literally just go through stage by stage. That's all we're gonna. I think that's the best way to do it, because I have never done anything like this before, and I'm a little bit out of my depth. But with enough reading and enough practice, and taking things slowly, I think I can get it right. So yeah, that's it. The next video you see will be us wiring in the first stage of electronics, so accessory stuff that runs off ignition stage 1. Yeah, and we'll just take it step by step. But this is exciting. This is, apart from a few daft things on the outside, like I've got to paint a few bits, but that's just, time-consuming crap. This is the bit that gets us towards actually starting the engine. So it's very exciting. So yeah, I'm really excited. Now, there will be, between videos, there's updates on my Instagram. I'll put my thing down here somewhere where you can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, because we've still got some products on the website that we're going to do discount codes and things off. So it's always a good idea to follow the Facebook and the Instagram, just to get any deals or parts that are on the website. So yeah, you'll get access to stuff a lot quicker that way. Yeah, that's about it. This is just nice little update for you guys. And the next video we're gonna try and do a bit more in depth of how stuff works and why it works the way we want it to. So yeah, thanks very much. I will see you soon.